Guys, one thing I have learned with staying in Canada is that I don't want to miss too much of what I don't have. So today we are going to be making puff puff, Nigerian puff puff. That was my yeast that I went to get, and what I'm going to be doing is to try to prove the yeast. You know, when your yeast is not really developed, this I have learned to do every single time I am making puff puff. Most times you can just add it to your flour, but guys, I have trust issues. I don't trust easily. So this method will help me to find out if that yeast is good or not. It is already good, but I'll just go a step further. So what I did was I added 4 teaspoons of yeast with 3 teaspoons of sugar. I added some warm water, and I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes so that we'll see whether that yeast will perform or not. So it's time for the main batter. I'm going to be using 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Please don't use self-raising flour, just look for all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour that you can use for basically anything. Of course, what is puff puff without nutmeg? I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. I brought that nutmeg from Nigeria, by the way, but of course you can get nutmeg in Canada. I added half cup of sugar. I had brown sugar. That was the only kind of sugar I had at home. On a normal day, I don't use brown sugar for puff puff, and I just mixed everything together. Oh my goodness, our yeast did well. Like I said already, it was going to, so if your yeast is good, it's going to like have bubbles, like it would come up, it would develop, if you get what I mean. So I don't usually like measure my water. I just start adding water little by little. I mix a little bit. I try not to make the puff as runny, so that it depends on the consistency you're really going for. If you want like thick puff, then you add small water. If you want it a little bit more loose, then you add more water. And another thing I did was I added warm water. If you add cold water, that's when you start having all those cocoa like crunchy, and of course it's puff. So naturally I just add like room temperature water. Let me just say room temperature water, not warm water. So guys, I think I have gotten what I want, the consistency I want. Not too much. Like I said, I would advise you to start using small water until when you get that perfect batter. So of course it is puff, and I'm going to make it, I'll leave this to rise. I just like leaving it in room temperature, and I'll cover it with a number of towels. I used foil to cover it up first before I started covering up with the towels, and I left it for about 1 hour so that it will rise very well. So guys, I left my puff, and this was like after like 1 hour. It was time for me to start prepping or start frying. From the towel you can see that it has risen well, it has like gone high, it has like developed. Let me open it up for you guys to see. Can you see that? That's one reason why I like using like what's this thing called, cling film. Yes, sorry, I said foil before, it's cling film. So I like using cling film because if you use just a towel, it will stain everything, and nobody wants that. It's difficult to wash everything off. So normally I'll use a cling film to cover it up so that even when it rises, it won't stain your towel. And I'm just going to prep it very well. One thing I like doing is when I'm scooping with my hands, I like putting some oil in my hands well so that it will come out easily. And that is it. Please fry on medium heat so that your puff will be well like cooked even on the inside. So I usually fry for about 8 to 10 minutes. This is another batch. Please, if you don't like your puff going too far, it's not compulsory for you to wait for a long time. I have shared like puff recipes. I'm going to be sharing more, but for this particular one, there was a reason why I took it very far. What I mean is that it is really brown. It is extra brown. I was making it for someone, and this person likes a puff brown, like almost burnt. On a normal day, some people don't like it this way. So it all depends on you anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to come back. I'll see you in my subsequent ones. Stay blessed.